Good day. This is Nation Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. This is the Yuletide period. How have we been? And how well are we preparing for the Yuletide? Of course, all over the world, it's going to be recognized to be the birthday of Jesus Christ, our Savior. And over time, of course, we will be, commiserating lots of events during this period, aside the birth of the Lord Jesus Christ. All right, first of January, which is few days from now, will also be a date to remember, which happens to be ushering the new or the incoming or the coming in of a new year, of course, 2024 on board. Thanks for joining us. Now, lots of investigations have been going on in the Central Bank of Nigeria and other affiliated parastatals and ministries. But I have a story for you that will blow your mind. Did you know that it's not just allegations that are being pointed at the central bank governor that is now that has now been granted bail of over 300 million naira? Yes, Godwin Emefiele has been called out countless times, charged to court, for procurement fraud and other fraud-related activities, all right? But there is a proof right now. A CCTV camera footage or a CCTV footage has emerged showing how the former CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, and one of the secretaries in the formal government of President Muhammadu Buhari, one Mr. Boss Mustapha, have allegedly stole $6.23 million cash from the Central Bank of Nigeria vault just 2 weeks before the 2023 general elections. Are you shocked? Don't be shocked, because lots of stories will follow up. Now, we are not just saying Godwin Emefiele did this, but there are evidences all over, all right? Jim Obaze, the investigative reporter or the investigative accountant, let me use that word, the investigative accountant that has been on the probe of the central bank and its activities over time, has brought this out or has made this known to newsmen and to journalists. All right, now Central Bank of Nigeria has experienced a sort of let's say transactions that cannot be related to the money on ground. All right, inconcurrent transactions that have existed over time in the coffers of the country. This is the apex bank in the country, and it's supposed to be the most transparent parastatal or sector so far. All right, but there are irreconcilable transactions that have existed in this particular apex bank that have failed or are yet to be, traced to anybody but Godwin Emefiele and other directors who were under the Central Bank of Nigeria, serving under the formal administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari. So I will be telling you lots of stories how the former CBN governor was allegedly caught on CCTV. Are you as shocked as I am? I am not. I am not surprised, because Godwin Emefiele is actually capable of doing lots of things. Somebody who stole trillions of naira from the Nigerian coffers is capable of, in fact, somebody who had the courage, okay, to contest for presidency. In fact, that person has lots of guts. Yes, when it comes to money, when it comes to connection, and when it comes to strategy, that person must have lots of guts. All right. So, CCTV footage has emerged showing how Godwin Emefiele, I will tell you again, Godwin Emefiele and Boss Mustapha was a formal cabinet secretary under former President Muhammadu Buhari. How they jointly dragged out physically, this is not a joke, physically dragged out $6.23 million from the CBN vault in Abuja. Ha! Is this how low people can stoop in order to launder millions of naira? So you no longer launder with your pen, you now launder physically. They even forgot that there was a CCTV. This is appalling. Yes, I would say time and time again that this is quite appalling. But I would not love to say much until the expose comes on board. But Godwin Emefiele has been granted bail. That is the update from a few days ago. He has been granted bail in the sum of 300 million naira. That bail was after almost 194 days in custody. All right, nobody wanted to bail Godwin Emefiele or come to fulfill his bail conditions because of the amount of money involved. Not that he has no friends or cronies that can actually, foot this bail condition bill. But anybody who comes to foot that bill, of course, the anti-graft agency will go for you. 300 million naira is not a small amount for you to throw out in just a second, all right? But the truth is, he has been granted bail, and because he has fulfilled his bail conditions. So let us go through the expose where ex cabinet secretary boss Mustapha and Godwin Emefiele were caught. They were caught red-handed by the CCTV stealing $6.23 million from the central bank coffers. The special investigator, tasked with probing the Central Bank of Nigeria, has returned with recommended charges for some senior officials of the past administration, saying they were linked to a brazen and relentless haste of public coffers. Jim Obaze said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should quickly authorize the prosecution of former Cabinet Secretary Boss Mustapha and ex-Central Bank Chief Godwin Emefiele for their roles in the removal of over $6.23 million cash from the bank's sealer in Abuja. The alleged theft, said to have taken place on February 8, 2023, roughly 2 weeks ahead of the February 25th presidential elections, was listed among a laundry of alleged corrupt diversion of public money linked to Godwin Emefiele and other officials of the former President Muhammadu Buhari administration. Narrating the haste to Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu in an undated memorandum believed to have reached the president on December 20th, 2023, Mr. Jim Obaze said it was around February 7th to 8th, 2023 that his investigators discovered that over $6.23 million was unlawfully removed from the vault cash from the Foreign Payments Office, Abuja branch of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The physical acts of unlawful removal of this amount were captured on the CCTV footage and preserved, according to Mr. Jim Obaze. Mr. Obaze, who took the special investigator job despite his own past corruption and abusive behavior, said efforts to steal the cash commenced on January 26 when Mr. Boss Mustapha sent a memo to Godwin Emefiele requesting $6.23 million in cash. The memo itself followed a previous one dated on January 23rd from former President Muhammadu Buhari to Mr. Boss Mustapha, which carried the header Presidential Directive on Foreign Election Observer Missions. Mr. Obaze did not return a request from sources seeking to obtain the video. Still, the anti-graft guru said the investigation suggested that the money was not given to foreign observers, adding that a Central Bank of Nigeria employee flagged the transaction as suspicious but failed to act. The investigator went further to hold the unreported transaction as part of an elaborate conspiracy to cover up wrongdoings by the previous regime at the Central Bank of Nigeria. A fraudulent cash withdrawal of $6.23 million perpetrated since February 8, 2023 was not discovered nor taken seriously until December 4, 2023, when a request for information was issued by the officer of the special investigator, Mr. Obaze said, adding that there was an appearance of concealment by the Central Bank of Nigeria directors and departmental heads, including one Mr. Ogbu Onyeka, Samuel Chukwunyem Okojere, and Elizabeth Fasoranti. Consequently, Mr. Obaze said Mr. Mustapha Boss and Godwin Emefiele and those listed above, amongst others, should be charged for forgery, concealment, stealing, conspiracy, and fraud. Mr. Jim Obaze said his investigation into Central Bank of Nigeria's actions under erstwhile Governor Godwin Emefiele would continue. He did not immediately recommend charges against Mr. Buhari himself, although it was unclear if future evidence would compel him to bring charges against the former president, which would be the first in Nigeria's history. Boss Mustapha declined comments when reached by sources on Saturday evening for this story to be confirmed. An aide to former Governor Godwin Emefiele said the ex-Central Bank of Nigeria chief, who was freed on Friday after 195 days in custody, had no comments to give on this allegation yet. Are you shocked? As I am, don't be shocked, because if you hear what other public officers or other politicians or even other directors in different sectors and ministries are doing, then you will know that the case of Godwin Emefiele is just one amongst millions, right? But credit, like big credit and awesome credit to Jim Obaze, the investigative accountant that has been on this probe issue for a very, very long while now. Now, he couldn't answer newsmen over whether the CCTV camera was available or not, but we all know this CCTV footage, I beg your pardon, is available. This video footage is available. It is available and in the custody of Jim Obaze. When he is about to let it to the public, we don't know. When he wants to really relate it to President Tinubu and show him, of course, he has seen it already, but when he will get the approval to show the public, we don't know. We don't even know if Godwin Emefiele or if Jim Obaze will be allowed to show this to the public, all right? But kudos to him for going that far. Now, Boss Mustapha has been someone who has been on the back or in the background during the formal government of President Muhammadu Buhari. He thought people would not know his activities, his illegal activities, but kaboom, he has been caught and brought to book. He refused to answer newsmen when they asked him about this allegation. For him to keep silent, he should know that he is waiting for those involved to quickly have a meeting and they will unanimously come out and say something that will end up deceiving Nigerians. But I don't know if Bola Tinubu will be compromised, of course. If he is compromised, that means this case will be swept under the carpet. But if he is not compromised, that means we would have more and more information on this particular probe. But I will still express shock at how this former central bank governor and a former cabinet secretary will be caught on CCTV footage stealing $6.23 million. That means what we are really out for in Nigeria is bigger than what we've been hearing. But trust me, I will follow this case back to back to back so that I will keep you updated on whatever has been happening over time. All right. Now, my next update is going to Port Harcourt. Of course, we can't sideline Port Harcourt in this Yuletide period because right from 2 months ago, or let me say right from 1 month ago, the controversy between Sim Fubara and Nyesom Wike cannot be relegated to the background. All right, it has been emerging with lots of updates and new developments over time. What am I trying to say? During the time of Nyesom Wike in his administration as former governor of Rivers State, he sacked lots of workers, reasons best known to him. One among these workers, or some of these workers, were those civil servants in Ken Saro-Wiwa Polytechnic. All right, now they have come out to really, call out former Governor Nyesom Wike for sacking them, and then to really pledge their support, full support for Sim Fubara over time. That means they have really taken sides with Sim Fubara. We had updates that Sim Fubara had approved over 100,000 naira for each civil servant for the Yuletide period during this time. So why wouldn't the sacked workers of Ken Saro-Wiwa Polytechnic come out to pledge their support for Sim Fubara? Not just because he is their governor, but because they feel that he is more considerate than Nyesom Wike. Please watch this video while the sacked workers of Ken Poly were seen on the streets protesting and pledging support for the present governor, Sim Fubara.
Solidarity forever. We are marching for Fubara. Solidarity. Let's go. Forever. We are marching for Fubara. Solidarity forever.
Can you tell us what happened to your job? Okay. Yeah. And even the Almighty has deposited in our own spirit that He sent this man to save Rivers State, to come to save Rivers State, based on the cry of Rivers people over the years. Honestly, we were disengaged in 2015, employed from 2013. Then, when the government of Chief Ezebunwo Nyesom Wike came in, without proper inquiry into what and how we came in, dismantled the structure and sent us away. After months on the streets, appealing to him and Rivers elders to reach him, there were nothing. the whole appeal fell on a deaf ear. So we are advised to go to court. We spent 7 years plus in court, and we won the Polytechnic and River State government in court. After the judgment, nothing was respected. The next thing we heard and saw was that they went ahead again and employed in our place, despite the order of the court that there should be no employment until we are reinstated, arrears paid, and everything about our security guaranteed. So despite that, they went on with their own agenda. Since we have a system that does not respect the order of the court, so they went on and replaced us. So we went on again to approach the court for contempt, which is still ongoing. So now, why we are here is because we saw a man with the green leaves that want to redirect and rewrite the history of the state and bring peace and development to the people. And we now saw a man like that in crisis. We say no, we cannot fold our hands and watch things go by. That we are coming out to give him our full support and pray for him and stand with him by whatever means we can. If he falls down, we are going to fall with him. If he rises up, we are going to rise with him. For that reason that we are here. We are street benchers, not like those who call themselves live benchers. So as street benchers, we continue to be on the street, singing and praising God to come to the aid of Rivers people and to our old age also. Thank you. That is why we are. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You said you were employed in 2013.
We were employed
In 2013.
in 2013, 2015.
2013. So have you started receiving your salaries before you were sacked?
When he came in, they stopped, the way things happens here. The political disagreement between Rotimi Amechi and Nyesom Wike then denied us so many things, but we are not supposed to pay for their own mistake. We are Rivers State that was employed to work in Rivers State. Employed to work in Rivers State. So for that, whatever was the disadvantage or disagreement or grievances between them wouldn't have been brought to our own table. So we were not paid. Our salary was denied. Our whatever incentives meant for us was denied completely. And court offered all those things in judgment, which till now we've not received any.
All right, sir. Please, what have you done? What have you done recently to reach the current governor of the state based on your plight?
Several letters was written through the former Attorney General, through the former Commissioner for Education, through the Governing Council Chairman, Ken Polibori, and many other authorities in this state that was supposed to channel that to him. We've written letters also through this gate into Government House since we could not access him. We've communicated to
workers from Ken Puli there. They were speaking bitterly, but they were happy because the governor is doing their bidding, of course. And then this new governor will tell you, Sim Fubara has really caught the hearts of the people of Port Harcourt and the people of Rivers State. So they have flooded the streets of Rivers State with placards pledging their support for him. And I hope they support him all the way. And I hope that he stands strong to really relate to them whatever is happening seriously and truly and sincerely in the background. He should not keep them in the dark, because if he does keep them in the dark, then he might end up losing this gubernatorial seat of his that he has worked hard to gain. Finally, Nyesom Wike has spoken, and lots of people have asked him, did you really invite Bola Tinubu into this controversy to make peace? Because people think Nyesom Wike is a coward and he has gone further to invite the president. Just, the last recorded meeting in Asorok where the president was in attendance, Femi Bojabiamila was in attendance, Kashim Shetima and others were in attendance. But Nyesom Wike has a very, very strong revelation about that meeting to say, well, shockingly, he said he did not invite Bola Tinubu into the case. But listen to what he said he did instead. Stay tuned.
Put the ladder you used to climb. If not, where you are coming back. The ladder is put down. I don't know how you will come down. I prayed for the church to continue praying for us and let us be firm. We must thank Mr. President for interfering and intervening. But I was not the one who invited Mr. President. You were the one. President intervened. President intervened. President has not intervened. He has no constitutional power. You are the one who said President should intervene. And President has intervened to bring peace. You now turn around and no, He does not have the constitutional power. No matter what circumstances, President invites me to a meeting and tells me to do something. Within 24 hours, I will carry it out. Because not only as president, but I have subjected myself to the peace process. And if you ask, what is everybody shouting? Some of you do not even know that Mr. President had invited us privately and said, do this, do this, do this, do this. And you agreed before Mr. President. And you didn't do it. And President has now invited, okay, the larger state come. We must tell our people the simple truth. I've done my own part. And I'm happy.
Okay, well, you know him. I did not invite him. Yes, that is what he used to say. His voice, you know. He did not invite Bola Tinubu into it. He's trying to tell us that you can't climb up, you know, you can't climb up a platform with a particular ladder and take off that ladder. That means he's trying to say Sim Fubara is trying to beat the finger that fed him. Dropping or destroying your political structure is out of the picture, yeah? But if you really brought him to, it is no doubt, we are not doubting the fact that you orchestrated the process that brought about Sim Fubara to office. Of course, he's from your party and he was your former accountant general. So it is just the right thing to do for you to put him through and then bring him on board. But allow him to govern the state by himself. We don't want to know the agreement you had with him in the background, but whatever agreement you guys had and whatever agreement it was, you should be able to know that as a loyalist to you, he will pay loyalty, at least no matter how small. Don't make it obvious, because if PDP remains in power for the next 8 years in Rivers State, that means Nyesom Wike still remains relevant. You must not go ahead to show your greed to, you know, or in acquiring all the funds accrued to all the contracts in Rivers State, as well as other allegations that have been padded under this controversy between these two, you know, former politicians that were friends, all right? Or yes, former friends, let me use this word, all right? Because we are hearing lots of stories, but it is obvious that Nyesom Wike wanted more than he really demanded for. Well, we will keep on following this up. I just hope it doesn't escalate to 2024. But if it does, we will keep you updated. Thank you so much for staying this far. Please like and share our videos. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. If you're watching me for the first time, please tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you will be able to see me promptly when I drop a new update. Merry Christmas and have a prosperous New Year. See you next time. Bye.